There was a little delay there. It looked like it wasn't going to start recording live. So if anybody just logged on and was like, what the heck are they doing with their faces? We were sitting here. It was just like the camera was frozen. Anyway, hey guys, welcome back. If you guys don't know us, I'm Mark. I'm a certified health coach. This is Teresa. She's a board certified family nurse practitioner. We are with Total Health and Wellness. We like to talk about hormones, metabolic health, and everything in between. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how to figure out whether you're a fat burner or a sugar burner.
It's not hard.
It's not hard, but you can. We're going to actually help you learn what's the difference between the two and how you can tell the difference between them. But before we get into that, I wanted to just remind you all, for those of you who are on Facebook right now and are living here in the United States, we are doing our book drawing this coming Friday or Saturday, and it's going to be the giveaway for this book, The Road to Metabolic Health by Doug Reynolds. He's the co-founder of LowCarb USA. And just a great guy overall, and super excited to help get the word out about his new book that he's got released. If you guys don't win the book, or if you're interested in ordering it, we'll drop a link for it along with some other information in the description and or the comment sections, depending upon which social media flavor you're watching. So,
and speaking of Doug Reynolds and LowCarb USA, start planning now for Low Carb San Diego, which is in August, and we're staying at the Lowe's on Coronado Island. And so go to their Facebook page, Low Carb USA, and get the details and the dates. And you really should make it a point to have that as your family vacation. We do every year, and it's super fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff, family-friendly stuff to do in San Diego if you've not been. And then also, if you can't make it, which is totally understandable. I mean, that's a big commitment with money and time and whatnot. They also offer a live stream option, so you can actually watch it live stream. And then it's recorded and you can go back and watch it over again, or if there's areas that you miss or whatever, you can go check those out.
But they take questions from the virtual people as well. So your favorite speakers will answer your questions that you have virtually.
Yeah, they'll answer them actually live on while they're up there doing their talk. So, all right. So,
and I just want to say too, it's a lot of effort to put these conferences on. And Pam and Doug have been, probably really paying out of their own pocket for quite a while. So we really do need to support them, because there are people like them and the speakers that are constantly putting themselves on the line against the quote unquote standard of care. So it is really nice to be able to support them.
Yeah. And if you want to go to their website and check them out, it's going to be also, we'll drop a link in the description and or comment section, but it's lowcarbusa.org. And or they also have the Society for Metabolic Health Practitioners is another website and institution that they're kind of a part of. And I don't know, I guess they're the co-founders of that as well, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's thesmhp.org. So you can go check those out. All right. So getting back to the subject of tonight. So figuring out if you're a sugar burner or you're a fat burner. So this one, what I'm going to tell you here might come as a surprise to some of you all, but for Americans, as part of our diet, I'm going to give you the top 10 sources of sugar where Americans get sugar from their diet. So the first one, so let me back up a little bit too. So most people, when you tell them, hey, you're eating a lot of sugar, or asking them what they eat for sugar, they think of, Teresa talks about this all the time, they're thinking of Snickers bars and Skittles and maybe a Coca-Cola or something like that. But it's not. There's also carbohydrates that are really just a more complex form of sugars, but at the end of the day, they're a sugar. And so these foods that I'm about to go over with you, these top 10s here in the United States, they contain a lot of sugar in them, but you might not think that. A lot of people don't. So the first one is going to be white potato. The second one is going to be white bread. The third one is going to be cereal. So breakfast cereals, that's cold cereals. Then we have dark bread. So think wheat bread, pumpernickel, things like that. Orange juice, that one should be no surprise to anybody. The next one, Teresa's.
It is a surprise.
Well, if you think orange juice is just squeezing the energy or the sugar right out of an orange, you're getting rid of everything else in it, and you're just literally just pouring the sugar into it. Yeah, you're taking in the sugar. The next one, Teresa's favorite, is a banana. She loves to harp on bananas, talks about them all the time. Another one is white rice, and then pizza, pasta, and muffins. So those are the top 10 of the highest sugar foods that Americans consume on a regular basis. So there's certainly foods that have more sugar in them than that, but those aren't really foods. They're more like food-like products.
Right. So well, these are just popular ones. We feed our kids cereal every day. We all drink orange juice when we're sick. And I just wanted to say the difference between white bread and wheat bread is significant. And white bread has less carbohydrates than wheat.
What?
But we've all been indoctrinated to think wheat bread is healthier than white bread. The same with wheat pasta versus white pasta. I think it's like a 2-gram difference between wheat pasta being 2 grams less than white. And one time I had a patient tell me she's eating zucchini pasta. And I was like, oh, like you're spiraling it? Like we've done that before. She said, no, it comes in. She said one of the main manufacturers of pasta.
Yeah, it's like Mueller's or something
it was
like that.
Barilla.
Yeah, a Barilla.
Barilla.
Okay, yeah.
And so I looked it up and it had 1 gram less than the wheat or white. I can't remember which, but you're being schmoozled.
It's deception.
Totally.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the signs. So signs that you're a sugar burner. And Teresa, I'm going to go ahead and let you take off with this one. Start running with it.
And so as I'm listing these, you can just assume that the opposite is for fat burner. But number 1 is you have to eat all the time. So let's just assume or pretend like everyone's eating 3 meals a day. Sugar burners also have to eat in between those meals. Mm-hmm. So you need because I used to do this. You need a mid-morning snack. You need a 2 or 3 o'clock afternoon snack. And then after dinner, you need a snack while you're watching TV. So you're snacking just way too much and you're never giving your body time to rest and digest, number 1. And you're never giving your body time for your insulin to come back down to a more normal level. So you're constantly bathing your vessels in insulin and sugar, which activates the clotting cascade, which is what sets you up for heart attack and stroke. So you could be the healthiest person running marathons and doing triathlons. But if you're eating tons of sugar and your insulin is elevated, you're damaging your small vessels, which is heart, eyes, brain, kidney, and then penis in men.
Yikes.
And I was kind of thinking before when you're doing those top 10 sources, I was sitting next to a sweet lady I'd never met before at church volunteering. And she tells me she's a diabetic as she's drinking a orange juice. And then she tells me that she has, like stage 2 chronic kidney disease. And I was like, oh gosh.
All of them are red flags, right?
I was just like, both of those can be reversed. So I gave her Jason Fung's info and Ken Berry's info. Anyway, you can't lose weight. Again, if you're constantly eating every 2 to 3 hours, because this was us back in the 90s and 2000s, we were fat. You not as much as me, but you had all this extra weight.
Yeah, there was puffiness about
inflammation. But I could never lose weight. And we literally were like, he's got me a gym membership and he makes me go to the gym now twice a week.
I know, it's terrible. Gosh.
But I'm so like, PTSD is a dramatic word and not to take away from you other people, but I don't want to be in the gym, but it's only 15 minutes twice a week. But we used to spend hours in the gym. We would work out on weights. I would teach an aerobics class for an hour. I would then teach a half-hour abs class. We'd go play racquetball for another hour. We would be there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we were still overweight because you can never tap into your fat stores if your insulin is up here. Insulin, I say, is like the bodyguard at the club. And if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, he doesn't care how much you paid for your fake ID or how good it looks. He's not letting you in the club. And so insulin is not letting you into your fat stores.
And that's what happens when you eat carbohydrates and or sugars. Again, they're both the same thing, is that your insulin levels increase, and that doesn't allow you to tap into your stored energy. You use the energy that you've just consumed as energy instead of being able to tap into those fat stores. So our goal is to tap into the fat stores by being in nutritional ketosis, which we'll talk about a little bit more here in a few minutes.
Yeah. And then also you're getting lightheaded or shaky, probably even hangry. And that is a sign that your blood sugar is crashing. So you want stable blood sugar. Okay. But the highs and lows, you're crashing. And it doesn't matter if you eat a banana, because I've shown you bananas on glucose monitors. The boys went from super low, like 60s, straight up to 175. Nate went to 175 and then corrected himself straight down. That is reactive hypoglycemia. That's being hangry and irritable.
So when you're talking about the symptoms of like these ups and downs, this roller coaster you go through, I want to hear you say it. So what are the different things that you talk about that people are feeling like when they're going through these?
What do I usually say?
Well, you talk about the moms and the kids, and like I like my husband, I don't like my husband. I love all your little things that you do. So
I have to try to relate to people, and I was there, so I really do relate to people.
Yeah.
But you're going up and down. You like things, you don't like things. So when you're crashing, I tell people, it doesn't matter how much you like your people around you, even at work. You crash, and you're just like, you people are stupid. You breathe too loud, and you ask dumb questions. How can I get off this team?
This is what I wanted to hear right here. Yes.
Okay. And then I always say in my addict days, when I reached bottom, I would have low-fat yogurt, low-fat granola, an apple, peach, or banana, which is straight sugar. There's no nutrients even in there. There's a few electrolytes, okay, some potassium, but no nutrients. You go back up and then you're like, you guys are amazing. I love you so much. And then people behind your back are like, did you know she has bipolar? Okay, but you don't. You just have sugar highs and lows constantly. It's an emotional nightmare.
Yeah, and with those comes the energy crash that you're going to talk about. So that's the same thing. Those highs and lows. You have energy, you don't have energy. But those shifts are extreme when you're a sugar burner.
It is, and I have a glucose monitor, and I'd have to really refresh my memory at the office. But it was a patient of mine. She was, because the lake season is very popular here in Missouri in the summertime. Her family all went to the lake. She was staying around, I think, to clean up her house and stuff. She had an apple for sure, but I can't remember. Oh, maybe like a Pop-Tart or something. She said she crashed so hard, and you can see it on her CGM, that she had to, her family hadn't left. Her family wanted to leave. She was like, I have to lay down. I have a headache. I can't even keep my eyes open. She had to take a nap. Her family went to the lake without her, and then she met them later from a Pop-Tart and an apple.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Fasting.
Yeah, you can't fast. If you have to eat every 2 to 3 hours, when we mention the word fasting, you're like, you people are insane. If someone told me back in the 2000s that we would be fasting, I would have thought you're crazy, because I couldn't go 2 hours. First of all, 2 hours without eating, but I started to think and ruminate about food at about an hour. So like, you're constantly this food noise, but it's because you're addicted to highly processed foods, and it makes you have binge eating disorders, which I mean, I for sure had.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah. And then you crave these things. So every time you go up and you start to come down, now you're craving that food again. So you know how we binge on things, say it's like chips and salsa, or it doesn't even have to be terrible, like cake and ice cream. And you're like, I can't eat anymore, and I'm not going to eat anymore, and I'm not going to do that again. And a few hours later, you're doing it again. That's why, because you start to crave the foods that are making you sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I leave anything out?
No, we're just, I mean, there are some medical things that I'd put up there with regards to, if you're a sugar burner, there's a very higher likelihood that you're going to be, someone who has PCOS, so polycystic ovarian syndrome. You suffer from migraines. Naturally, you're going to have an increased level of body fat. You're more likely to have diabetes, and then non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and then hormone imbalance. And Teresa talks about all these things. Yeah. And these are all directly related with having, being a sugar burner, being addicted to carbs, addicted to sugar. I mean, all the above.
And it's not your fault. They make it that way. They make it hyper palatable. They're trying to destroy our health because everybody's in it together. Food, ag, pharma.
They benefit of us. They benefit monetarily from us being sick. It's just the end of that's just the way it is.
So if you're a fat burner, those are all the opposites. You can fast with ease. If you miss a meal, it's ease. So like today, we went to the gym. We left at like 10:30 or 10:45 because I was off. And we left the gym at because I looked at my belly started to growl, and it was 11:45. And so at the office, that's about when I have lunch, if I do. When I'm off, I typically don't eat lunch, but my belly growled. And but I just we went to Sam's after that, and I saw our patient who's on there right now, sweet patient. She's probably one of the first two that ever have been with me. But the hunger just went away, and I didn't get cranky or hangry or yell at you or any of that. It went away. So studies have shown that when people's bellies growl, that's ghrelin, the hunger hormone telling you you're hungry. It always lasts about 30 minutes. If you ignore it, your body's going to have a little bite from somewhere. And then it's going to stop because your body's full because it had a bite of something. But when you're a sugar burner, because we all remember these times, you have to walk right in from mowing the lawn or right in from the store because you're starving, or go right into the gas station to get a snack because you think you're going to die. So if you are a fat burner, you will not feel that way.
Yeah. Something I always like to use is if you guys are watching, we still love you guys, but we like to go canoeing and kayaking in the summertime. And I get in the canoe or kayak and I just want to go, and
we all make fun of you.
And you do all make fun of me. That's okay.
Because he's like doing an Olympic sport and we're just trying to relax. But
typically the people we go with will like to stop about every 15. Now I get it. You want to stop and relax. It's canoeing, it's kayaking. You're on the river. It's hot. Take your time. I get that. I can do a little bit of that too. But most of the folks that are doing that, who are stopping, are also eating every time they stop. we'll eat maybe something for breakfast, or we won't even eat breakfast. Then we'll do it all day, and then we'll have a fantastic big dinner, which these same individuals who I'm talking to typically have a big dinner for us
And
when we're
it's
done.
amazing food.
It's always amazing food. So
yeah.
We love you guys, not making fun of you at all, just using that as a reference point
Yeah.
to kind of to show you how it is with regards to the hunger cravings.
Right. But you don't have intense hunger cravings if you're a fat burner. Because like today, me in the car, I could go about my business. It wasn't intense. It didn't make me stop what I was doing. It didn't make me feel like I was going to die.
Right.
Like it wasn't all consuming, all I could think about. So we left Sam's and we got home about, I guess, 2:00, and I had like some mozzarella cheese sticks, and then just waited for our steaks.
And even if you're fasting and you're not eating, your body is still going to eat. It's going to consume food. You can actually wear a continuous glucose monitor and see when you get into those periods when you would have normally eaten during the day, like if you're a typical breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of person, you can wear a CGM and you can fast, and you'll see your body's blood sugar will spike during breakfast, during lunch, and during dinner, because your body's going to eat whether you put food in your mouth or not.
Right there.
And we've got, it's going to eat from there. Right. It's going to tap into those food stores that we have, or the fat stores. And most of us have about 40,000 calories of stored fat on our body. Let's use that. Let's not worry about eating the like orange juice, drinking orange juice.
So the people walking around, and it was, me before, I was probably an easy 30 pounds overweight. I feel like I held it well because I'm taller and I was muscly because I worked out so much. Yeah. But I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Can't help you with that because there's a story.
Maybe I need hormones.
Maybe you need to eat something. I'll go get you some orange juice if we had some.
Gosh. Okay, I can't remember. But the next thing is you just have steady energy. You don't have all these cravings.
Yeah.
You don't have all this food noise in your head.
Yeah.
It's just much easier to go about your day. And I don't know, just not worry about where your next snack is going to come from.
And fasting comes easy when you're on it when you're part of this way of eating and you've been on it for a while. Fasting actually just comes kind of naturally.
Right. You're
just not going to be hungry. And so it's like, I don't really need to eat breakfast this morning. It's not like, I have to stop and eat breakfast or eat something. You're just going to be like, I don't need it, and I'll skip it. And you'll find yourself doing that. And it's kind of interesting how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have trouble doing it.
What's funny is yesterday I had some big gaps in the day, which is not normal. I had 1 2-hour gap and I had 1 1-hour gap after lunch. And I ate my meat and cheese like I always do, and bacon. But I was a little bored because you just weren't busy. And so my belly growled a little more than it would normally. So sometimes you got to just understand there's boredom involved there too, and figure out why you're eating. That's a whole nother fasting discussion. But
and that boredom, you just got to get past that 30-minute window you were talking about. And then the ghrelin will
stop. I know what I was going to say. So the people walking around with extra weight on them, and most average Americans, I'm sure it's the same in other countries, but you're walking around with at least 30 extra pounds on you. And so with 30 extra pounds on you, if you eat every 2 to 3 hours, it's the same as you going, like you just filled up my car the other day. It would be like you, every time we're out or every time you're driving your car and you see a gas station, you pull in and fill up your gas tank. And then 2 miles down the road, there's another gas station. You pull in and you fill it up. Eventually, you have nowhere else to store the gasoline. You're going to put it in the trunk. You're going to put it in the back seat, which would be obnoxious, so don't. But that's just, you're overfilling your body with food that's not even nutrients. Like banana, what are you getting out of that?
It's energy. And people will say potassium. Okay, fair enough. It has some electrolyte potassium in it, but you can also get potassium from low carbohydrate sources, such as avocado has more than a banana with regards to potassium content. So, and it's not going to cause your insulin to spike and your blood sugar to spike. And so
we've said, go ahead.
No,
we've said this before, but this is a quote from Ben Bickman, and his book is Why We Get Sick. But he said, every non-infectious chronic disease has some sort of relation to insulin. Every single one.
Yeah.
So
a couple of questions here. I might as well hit these up really quick. But before we do, the last one we'll just say is your overall health is going to improve. So a lot of you come to Teresa or another metabolic health practitioner. You just do it on your own through research, but you come to the conclusion that you need to change your lifestyle in order to correct some sort of a disease like type 2 diabetes, say. And that's a lifestyle disease, so it can be corrected. But anyway, when you start eating this way and you start reversing the symptoms and reversing these disease processes, these metabolic disease processes, you can see, well, a lot of that problem that I was having before was a result of my sugar consumption, or carbohydrate consumption.
Yeah.
So that was all I wanted to say on that. But So the question is, where should I look for a CGM? So good
Excellent.
question. We'll actually drop that. So it's the Dexcom is the name of the company, and the Stelo is the name of the Dexcom monitor or continuous glucose monitor that they make. We'll put it in the description and or the comment sections of the video.
But your doctor, your provider can also order you one, and they'll say you don't have diabetes, you don't need one. You can just say, I want one. Order it for me. And all I do when I order it for patients is I make a note. There's a note for the pharmacy. Patient is self-pay, and we'll download the Reader app. I just type it in, and the pharmacist doesn't care.
Yeah, it's easy breezy.
Yeah.
And then so
did we
I
miss
know that.
one?
Well, we did. So Tia had said she doesn't miss the crashes at all, and yes, 100% Tia. That's spot on. And then Vicky says, I got to move this. Doesn't it also train your body to need snacks if you eat several times a day? So sure, you can train
because
your
you're going up and down, up and down. So it's probably just another way to say you're training it. But yeah, definitely.
Well, we mentioned it earlier with the CGM, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get into a routine of eating that way. And then when you all of a sudden fast, your body starts craving food during those times of the day, whenever you would eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And then you can wear that CGM and you can see, oh my gosh, my blood sugar spiked during that.
And spike is like dramatic, like a blip.
Like almost like you ate a sugary meal or something like that,
It's not that much, but yeah, a blip. But you'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see it also when you go exercise, your blood sugar goes up. I remember when I had a kidney stone in 2020, and I don't trust the system, so I didn't want to go in. I wanted to pass it at home, but it had been several days, and now I had a fever of above 104, and Mark's like, this is no longer just a kidney stone. So I went, and when I saw my records after, I hadn't eaten since Thursday night, and I went in Saturday night, and my blood sugar was 137 because my body was under significant duress. And so your liver is going to make glucose to keep you alive. If you have the throwing up bug, which I did at that time too, because the kidney stone got stuck, it was too big, so I'd have surgery. But your body's still going to make glucose because you have to have glucose to stay alive. We just are telling you don't have to ingest glucose. Your liver can make it from the fat that you eat.
Yeah, and that actually segues right into what I was about to say, because I wanted to clarify something. So you're probably wondering, like, you wear a CGM after you've, like I mentioned earlier, use the analogy, if you ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day for most of your life, suddenly you start fasting during those times, and you wear a CGM, and all of a sudden your blood sugar spikes. Why does your blood sugar spike? Well, your body, like Teresa just mentioned, needs sugar, but there's a process where we can take ketone bodies out of storage, that's your fat out of storage, and convert them to glucose in the liver by a process known as gluconeogenesis. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, but that's your body creating the glucose that it needs, which is very small to survive, very small amount. Doesn't it also train your body? Okay, I think we already answered that one. So, okay.
Yeah, and in the hospital, so I last ate on Thursday. I went into the hospital on Saturday. I stayed until Wednesday, and I didn't eat until Tuesday night. I just wasn't hungry. But about Tuesday night, I ordered a bunless burger, and I started to have a little bit of heartburn because that was like a long time fasting, but I didn't die because my body was making glucose.
We're still here. Yeah. All right. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I thought I was going to die. That was the sickest I've ever been in my whole entire life. But no, that's all I want to say.
Well, I got to go take a shower and get ready for church.
Yeah.
I just realized that
I hope you see you.
So
if you do, talk to us.
Yeah, come say hi. We won't bite. We're
sit in the same spot. Yeah, people know where to find us.
We're super approachable. All right, guys. Well,
predictable.
We love you guys. God bless you. We'll see y'all next time. And don't forget, food matters.
Bye.
Bye.